The day I was born in 1984, the Sandinista Front won the elections in Nicaragua. The doctor said I was a boy. My parents named me Derek Cobb. Wasn't the biggest kid in the world, but I was bigger than most of the other kids my age. When I was bad, my parents grounded me and hid my toys, but I knew where they put them. Bottom of the bed. I remember figuring out the locks. They couldn't hide from me. In elementary school, I was head of my class. I worked very hard. All the kids absolutely loved me, looked up to me. Well, except for a few, but it's better than nothing. When I turned 10, my parents divorced. My mother slept with a divorce lawyer. I know this because I walked in on him. I was trying to save her, but the screams was him beating her. I wish he was beating her. In junior high, I was obsessed with swords and started lifting weights. I wanted to act like the knights I had seen growing up as a kid. Books, that newfangled TV, it was all really quite inspiring. Well, when things were getting really bad, I went completely goth. Had no friends, but I made costumes by myself. Pretty high quality, been honing my craft. They weren't the best things in the world, by far. They weren't movie grade, but I could wear them and feel comfortable in my own skin. But I knew it reached a crescendo when I stole a cop car when I was only 14. I went to juvie for about 6 months. Ran with the wrong crowd back then, but I knew I had to do something right. I was only 15 when I ran away, and I volunteered for a left-wing candidate. It wasn't real, though, you know? He was a scumbag who didn't represent liberalism at all. He was different. Life went on. On my 18th birthday, I managed to acquire secret maps of several major buildings downtown. For the past few years, I've been stealing from the corporations on the maps. Big name things. I know they're still hiding more secrets. I live in Albany, and it's about to experience real change. The year is 2009. Conservative President John Smalley ends his second term with approval ratings in the high 70s, and is succeeded by hardcore arch-conservative Jerry Cooper Smith. With conservatives sweeping into power in the House of Representatives and Senate, and a conservative majority in the Supreme Court of the United States, commentators are hailing it as the new beginning of the new conservative era. President Jerry Cooper Smith has asked the new Congress to move quickly to rubber stamp his radical arch-conservative agenda. The left seems powerless to stop this imminent trampling of liberal sanity and justice. In this dark time, the liberal crime squad is born. But I have to shed my old name. No one wants to hear about someone boring. I want to give love and peace to my group, my government. I'm known as Dr. Love. I was at the Obama Apartments, named after that senator who failed to get into office. I didn't have anything, but I did. I was a professional thief. I probably shouldn't have done what I did, but I wasn't wanted. I was good at security, swords, tailoring, stealth, persuasion, law, driving, writing, and seduction. I was pretty good at it, too. I knew no one wanted to hear about Derek Cobb. Things weren't going very well in the government. There were so many conservative things that I just couldn't tell anymore. If anything was really caring. If anyone was really caring. I knew I had to start with a bang, so I made a slogan to start off with. I think I did pretty well. Well, I guess it was time to go to my Obama Apartments. I knew I needed to do something. There was a lawyer there, actually. Decided to talk with him. Do you want to hear something disturbing? What? Take a breath and think about the world we live in. That we're spending hundreds of billions on new ways to kill people. This has to stop. Whatever. Through the doorway, I saw some cash prizes of great wealth, so I go in later. I saw some guards come in and I knew I needed to run. So I went and found an athlete in my apartment. I kept running. Didn't want to meet anyone, so I knew I needed to steal some stuff, get moving, grab the bladed weapons that had given me so much. And suddenly, someone shouted an alarm at my liberal trespassing. I knew I had to do something, so I ran, and I found a lawyer. I grabbed at him, and left him struggling, as I walked back to my apartments with him in tow. And Luane Toddhunter. I knew a name for him. And I knew there'd be more than one casualty. I decided to lay low for a while and just make him just sort of tend to the conservative swine. Well, I knew I had to think of something, so I decided to restrain him, pop in some drugs, just see what happened. The automaton was tied to a chair, hands and feet bound in the middle of the back room. He is subjected to dangerous hallucinogens. I need to recruit him, but he can't stop looking at the colors, and he seems resistant. Well, better than nothing. Let's keep going. This time I knew I didn't have to pop in anything. You know what I wanted to do? I just wanted to take out my revenge. The automaton is tied hands and feet to a metal chair in the middle of the back room. I beat him senseless, shouting corporations, war on terror, George W. Bush in its face. He seems to be getting the message, but he seems resistant. So I decided to reflect on this. Just see what